I'm ready.
So, dear gentlemen, I'm glad to meet you all here today. Thank you for joining the Unicorn Pitches European Fintech and KYC. My name is Maria. I'm CPO of the Unicorn.Events organized by Startup Network. And on behalf of our team, I'm happy to invite to the microphone the founder and general manager of Same Ventures, Mr. John D. Evans. Hi, John.
Hi, Maria. Thank you for that. We'll be talking a little bit more about the event and its outline in a second, but I just want to thank everyone for joining us here today. We've got a lot of people scanning a lot of different time zones. For those of you in Asia like myself, good evening. For those of you in Eastern and Central Europe, good afternoon. And for those in Portugal, UK, or Ireland, good morning. So we're covering a good part of the globe. And we'll talk about the event after Maria gives us a few more words. Maria.
Okay. I would like to greet our global sponsors of the Unicorn events. Our platinum sponsor is Network VC, our golden sponsor is Silicon Valley Syndicate Club, and our silver sponsor, Startup Inc. Unicorn events are organized on 3 stages. First, local pitch events for each particular ecosystem, which we have today, and the winner of today's event will be promoted to the second stage is a Unicorn Battle. It's international pitch event where we gather all the winners of the preliminary pitches. And each quarter we have our global finals. The next finals will be on March 16, and I'm glad to invite you there, but let's wait till March. And we are a smart ecosystem for different solutions that make it possible to find any solution in the field of innovation and venture market. And the heart of our ecosystem is our Network VC fund. It's also venture capital platform for the decentralized VC community. We have our startup network. It's a marketplace for startups, service providers, and investors. We also have Startup Inc. as a special onboarding platform for investors. If you are an accredited investor, please check it out. We are Unicorn Events, the world's largest online pitch contest for the number of events held and for the geography. We also have our VC House. It's a closed online community and place for networking for VCs, where they can exchange deals in which they are lead investors. And we have our Silicon Valley Syndicate Club as a special structure for business angels, where they can go into deals with a minimal entry check. And now I'm passing my microphone to John to present our partner.
Okay, thank you, Maria. So my name is John Evans. I live in Suzhou in China, and my company is SEIML, which provides consultancy services to startup companies in China and ASEAN. However, 2 years ago, we made the decision to broaden our focus and look at creating a bridge between Europe and Asia. Although industry agnostic, fintech and digital services are a very important part of our business. So I met Puvilas, whom I'll introduce formally in a second, who's head of partnerships at Ondato, which is a very unique digital B2B KYC provider headquartered in Vilnius, Lithuania. And the reason for that, and it's just as a little bit of a preamble to our presentations, was that my first 24 years were in the financial markets and in investment banking. And you probably know that there's a front office that banks focus on and give the most investments to, whereas the operations side, the things that make things work and also protect the bank's assets and interests, tend to get a little bit of short shrift. And so when I found myself involved with startups, I found a similar sort of things, that startups were wanting to use digital services, but hadn't necessarily put in place control, due diligence, and KYC processes. And that, of course, is what Ondato specializes in. So we're working together as two companies looking to deliver these KYC and due diligence services to startups and SMEs in Europe and Asia. And that's the nature of our collaboration. So we're each going to give a brief presentation tonight. Povilas will give a general overview of the whole due diligence and KY approach for digital businesses. And then I'll get into something a little bit more specific about how we're tailoring a project to deliver these to early stage startups. So that is what our presentation will be, and we'll kick it off with Povilas, who's going to give us an overview of digital services and KYC. So Maria, if you want to put.
Yeah, so hi everyone. My name is Povilas Teikunas. I'm head of partnerships at Ondato. Maria will be helping me to switch the slides, so maybe when I say next, it would be best. I am head of partnerships at Ondato, and time passes so quickly that, John, perhaps I forgot to tell you that we are now headquartered in London, UK, just that we remain our R&D in Lithuania. So we are quite a success story, but obviously there is no limit for growth. Today I will be delivering my speech towards the KYC evolution, for everyone to be familiar with the topic. And of course, I hope this will be a bridge for every participant who is watching this conference, this event, on how we could bridge and partner being overseas. And of course, alternatively, I would like to wish all the best to each participating startup today. And I'm super excited to really find out who is the best today. So, Maria? Okay, so getting to the topic. So KYC procedures help to prevent identity theft, money laundering, financial fraud, terrorist financing, and other financial crimes. In the slide, you can see some statistics, but what I want to emphasize, the procedures fit within the broader scope of any financial institution, either this would be bank or a traditional EMI or any other payment institution, and that has to fit amongst the anti-money laundering policy. Maria? For research purposes, we looked at the banks, which dedicate the highest amount of money laundering policies and the resources and money to know your customer program as a part of their anti-money laundering spending. It accounts for 40% of the total AML compliance costs, totaling 5.7 million each year. These figures are not surprising. KYC is a complicated process. Clients can provide forged documents, use stolen identities. In practice, we see that they create clever schemes to hide the true source of their assets. And the bank's obligation is to detect and report fraud as quickly as possible. While banks aim to have effective KYC compliance processes, they frequently fall short. According to Ondato's prior data, 41% of compliance specialists still employ the manual KYC process. And that's the typical what we see in the practice, manual. The research revealed a significant aversion of digital assets. 58% of respondents claimed they rely on their compliance staff rather than digital KYC solutions. Maria? Initially, know your customer guidelines were imposed on the financial institutions to evaluate business relationship related risks under an anti-money laundering policy, but they were never too considerate. Maria? The imposed requirement meant that the financial institutions had to tailor their services around those regulations. This meant that even the most straightforward request had to be done. So if we take in person, as it was the only way to ensure that the person in front of you is what he or she claims to be, from the process perspective, it was tedious and time consuming because the client had to wait in the queues. And we know this, let's say, when we go to the bank branch, right? Because they had to be served as the agent took care of everything manually. Then various background checks had to be done manually, which meant using several different systems depending on the implementation. Then this process was very ineffective, wasting man hours for manual checks, increasing the risk of errors that could later, turn into fines. It appears to be that, okay, this is not working, or there is a gap. For most people, this also made going to the bank a comparable experience as going to the dentist. I just always give this example when I needed to change my mobile signature. It's like you have to dedicate a couple of hours for that. Maria? So this affected businesses of all sizes, including the financial institutions. And it also meant that the KYC had to adapt to the changing world. That's where we got digital KYC revolution. Maria? So why KYC had to change? I just tried to look into this a little bit from the broader perspective. And we see that new players in the market brought user-centric approach, which was largely missing from the large financial institution. Then it was quickly realized that the manual processes still performed by the large financial institutions could be easily substituted by a combination of emerging technologies solving the problems that were suffocating everyone who was using them. And until the thought that KYC could be outsourced never really occurred to anyone, not to mention the possibilities that it could be done remotely with the new technology. Then we have fifth anti-money laundering directive that made it clear that virtual currencies and exchanges have to be strictly abide by AML legislation. So all the crypto exchanges, all crypto related, I would say, or virtual asset related things had to change and adapt. And much like challenger banks tried to rewrite the market rules, it was quickly found out that KYC could use a bit of shakeup. So this essentially, in this milieu, that's how remote onboarding was founded. Maria? So this is how KYC became digital, fast, simple and straightforward for the user, cheap, user-friendly. Maria? Financial institutions should choose automated solutions where they could combine the artificial intelligence and use the manpower of the KYCs. Maria? And you make that tedious data collection process less tedious by disrupting the task among the KYC specialists and artificial intelligence. Thank you so much for your attention. And as I said, good luck with your pitches.
Are we waiting for Maria now?
John, I think you're muted.
Yeah, John.
You are right.
You're muted.
Okay. Next presentation, Maria. Okay, I'll be very brief. This is just a single extension of what Povilas was talking about with digital KYC. As I found out when I moved into the areas of startups and SMEs in 2016, there's also a lot of fraud. It's not just about people trying to defraud big banks and big financial institutions. It happens everywhere. And yet so many of the solutions were originally set up for big financial institutions and sometimes were costly. So Povilas and I are working on a project that we're going to launch in the first quarter of 2023, which is delivering KYC due diligence services for startups and SMEs. Maria? Okay, so we all know that over the last couple of years with the pandemic, there's been a big move by all companies, including the very small ones, to using the digital services much more widely. Digital marketing, digital business development, these are projects that we work on with customers. Now we're trying to add some security to that process so that businesses can grow successfully in a digital way without having to worry about being defrauded, because the lack of contact you have when you're doing business in a strictly digital world means some of the old ways of trying to verify who you're dealing with, are they a real person, what is their character, was not possible to do. So we need new processes like the ones Povilas just described. Maria? So what we're doing is, it's kind of like in selling. You may have a wholesaler, you may have a reseller, and a retailer. And the retailer is simply dealing with a larger number of smaller businesses that the wholesaler might not be structured to do. So what we're going to do is at SEIML, working in conjunction with Ondato, we're going to offer some of the basic KYC and due diligence services, like the person photo and video verification as an example, to startups who maybe need these services, but only use them maybe a couple of times each month, and therefore wouldn't be a natural client for Ondato. But providing them with the same services, the same protections, so that they can maximize their digital business. Maria? So what are we doing? At SEIML, we want to become what we call an aggregator or a retailer for Ondato, where we can offer some basic core services to startups and SMEs, like the personal identification, that is no minimum usage requirements. It's economic and easy to use. And of course, in reality, there's probably a lot of other institutions in the market who deal with a large number of smaller businesses, accountants, law firms, business associations. So we want to develop this model, not just for SEIML to offer it, but for it to be offered through other business aggregators where we don't operate, so that these important due diligence and control services can be offered to all small and early stage companies wherever they may exist. Next. So we're going to start this rollout in Q1 2023, where we'll offer some of the very basic services through SEIML to initially our own existing startup companies, but then offer to the marketplace on a larger scale. And I'll just give you one example to close this presentation off. Just think about someone who's cold called you through the internet, and maybe they're on the other side of the world, and they have a business proposition for you that sounds really interesting and you'd really like to explore it. But you know, how do you validate who this other person is? Well, as I went through in my first call with Povilas, where I had my face scanned, I had my passport scanned, and within 2 minutes, I got a complete PDF report back that verified that the picture taken to me through my PC or mobile was in fact a match to the one in the passport, and the passport details were confirmed with the issuing authority, the UK government, to verify who I was, that I wasn't on any criminal records. And so I would assert that if you can, in your digital world, verify these sort of basic identifications of who you're dealing with, then I think it's highly unlikely someone will try to perpetrate a fraud on you when they know you know exactly who they are. And that's what we're doing. Maria? So that's the end of the slide, and that's why we emphasize this is not just about fintechs, but also KYC. We just want to emphasize the importance of control. Maria.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. Now I'm moving to our presentation. Before we are starting our pitch competition, I would like you, John, to introduce our judges.
Okay, we have 9 judges tonight. We did have 10, but one of them has come down with influenza. It's that time of year. So what I'll do is I'll ask each one of these judges just to take a minute and introduce themselves. Just a brief word where they're from, what they're doing. So I'll go by order that they appear on the screen this time. And the first one is Jürgen. Jürgen, give us a few words about yourself.
Oh, sorry, that's the king cake here.
Go ahead, Jürgen.
You're
on
mute.
mute.
Hello, do you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Hi, my name is Jürgen Proschinger. I'm the founder of Triangle Forces, a holistic thinking boutique advisory. We are helping ventures in the convergent consumer tech, interactive media and digital entertainment sector with strategic initiatives, everything from business planning to go-to-market strategies, commercial innovation, finding global alliances, particularly with the focus on the EMEA region, Europe, Middle East, and also occasionally North America. Financing endeavors in terms of government support with media and entertainment, but also business opportunity development. I have 2 decades of experience in that space with media content and related distribution channels. Prior to establishing Triangle Forces, I worked with Sony Pictures, Huawei, Ericsson, Qwerty Films, a film and production company outfit with a output deal for Century Fox. And I'm here to find or see interesting new initiatives when it comes to fintech, especially with relation to media and entertainment. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me go back to the order of our slide now. Ahmed is unfortunately the one who's ill tonight. So Mike Grundy, give us a few words about yourself, Mike.
Yep. Good evening, ladies and gents. My name is Mike Grundy. I'm the founder and CEO of Amazon Papyrus Chemicals. We are a specialty chemical company. I'm based in Hong Kong, and we're servicing the pulp and paper industry all over China, Asia, and we go as far as the Middle East. I'm also involved in PRD Angels, which is an angel networking business or club in Hong Kong, where we also look for startups where we can not only help fund, but also to help mentor. Okay, thank you, John.
Thanks, Mike. And just mention that PRD Angels, you'll notice their logo on the event page as one of the supporters of this event. So we appreciate that. Okay, next, Darius, tell us a few words about yourself.
Good afternoon. First of all, I just want to thank you for inviting me to this event. My name is Darius Kručionis, and I'm CEO of Intexus and Cryptexus. Together with my partners, we actually run consultancy business. And just to give you some background information about myself, actually, I was a businessman in the past. At the age of 21, I used to have my first company in telco space. I was also the co-founder of energy supplier comparison platform. And more than 10 years, I've been working a lot with startups in different areas like IT, crypto, and fintech spaces. And my responsibility was to ensure business development. And for the past 2 years, together with my partners, we run consultancy business, and we actually take care and help startup companies to get funding, by providing fundraising services. So mainly this is what we do, and I'm really looking forward to see opportunities I think it's worth to mention that I also act as a business angel. So I did investments last year in token sales. I actually invested some of my money into equity. So I'm really looking forward to see some exciting projects today, and maybe it will be an opportunity for us to invest.
Thank you, Darius. And moving along, David. David, tell us a few words about yourself.
Thanks, John. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm David Liu. I'm currently a senior advisor for the startup companies as well as some private equity-owned companies. And in my last 24 years, my career, including as Asia Pacific CEO for Clarivate, as also the China CEO for Thomson Reuters. So my professional experience, especially in the areas like financial and risk services, as well as intellectual property and scientific business, especially in running and building up and running the business in Asia Pacific, and including China, Japan, Korea, Australia, and Southeast Asia. And currently, since this year, I'm now helping some startup companies as well as private-owned companies in both China and the UK. So I'm very happy to join this event to see what the new opportunities we can work together or invest in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Next, Arturas, tell us a few words about yourself.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Arturas. I'm based from Lithuania, which is perceived to be the fintech and crypto hub in Europe at the moment. So I'm happy to be actually in these industries for already almost a decade. So I got into these industries since the end of 2013. So long story short, at the moment I'm wearing three hats. So one of the hats is that I'm the investor myself. I'm investing to the pre-seed and seed round startups, mostly to the fintech and blockchain related industries. But at the moment, I see very big potential in such markets like Africa, Latin America, and Middle East. So I'm focusing quite heavily on these markets because you know yourself that it is impossible to reinvent the new Revolut or to be the next unicorn in European Union. It's quite complicated. So that's why I'm checking the emerging markets. Another hat that I wear, I'm the founder of the consulting companies that Darius has mentioned. We are, co-founders. We are partners. So as Darius mentioned, we are heavily focusing on the fundraising for our clients, as it is one of the primary services. In a year, we have raised as a team $12 million to the digital assets or equities of our businesses. And finally, I am the serial entrepreneur. I am, and I was the shareholder of a few licensed financial institutions from Lithuania. I'm the stakeholder and co-founder of 2 layer 2 blockchains. Yeah, that's in a nutshell about me. So again, I'm very keen to learn a bit more about these young, and not young, but fastly growing startups, which we'll pitch today, and maybe there could be some synergies between us after the event.
Thank you. Gaio.
Greetings to you. Hi, John. Greetings to you all from sunny Belgrade. First of all, John, I would like to thank you once more for your trust. And I must admit that I was looking forward to today's event with true excitement, since this is the 3rd time that we're officially meeting in the past couple of months, especially with this one, considering European fintech and know your customer startup ecosystem. This is really important topic, especially in the finance industry, and I think it's a real chance to learn a bit more about today's startups, because I see that the potential of the startups that have are going to pitch to the events are really strong, and I can say that by my free estimate that there will be a startup who will get the opportunity to move to the regional unicorn battle competition, and hopefully he should choose the advices that he receives from today's event. So as far as my background, I'm a senior finance executive with more than 17 years of experience in financial management and administration. I came from corporate world, and in the past couple of years, mostly working on finance and operations within startups, SME and SMB organizations. In the past, I have worked in a variety of industries, including fast-moving consumer goods, financial services, and technology across Southeast and Eastern Europe. So most importantly, both for startup participants and their founders, I'm here in the capacity of a business consultant and representative of 2 multifamily offices and an investment fund from Southeast Europe that mainly invest in deep tech, health tech, financial technology, and industry agnostic startups. So regarding my previous experience as an election judge, I was a jury member of the semifinals of the best technology innovation in the category of realized innovation in Serbia. Moreover, I'm a mentor of Founders Institute and GSD Venture Studios from Silicon Valley. And I'm really excited for the event. Good luck to everyone, and may the best win.
Thank you, Gaio. And to complete our lineup of judges, Remco, introduce yourself, please.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you, Mr. John and Povilas for having me. I'm Remco. I'm based in Budapest, but originally from Amsterdam. I'm a fintech enthusiast, and at the moment I function as an independent fintech consultant through an organization called The Connector. And what we do is we scout for pain points at the banks, and we help them with their vendor selection when it comes to solutions in the market. So I do a lot of introduction between fintechs and banks. On the side, I work for Startup Wise Guides, which is an accelerator based in the Baltics. So I mainly help early stage B2B fintechs with their branding and sales strategies. I've organized a lot of keynote events on the future of banking, mostly with neobanks such as Revolut, N26, Monzo, and so forth. And I frequently organize panel discussions and other events related to the fintech industry. So I'm very excited to see what the startups have to offer here today. And I'm also excited to say that I have a working relationship with Ondato, which is, in my opinion, a real good success story of, let's say, Lithuanian fintech. So very happy to see them here participating, and good luck to everybody from the startups. Eager to see what you have in place for us.
Thank you, Remco. So those are our 9 judges. You can see we've got a substantial amount of experience. So looking forward to this event myself. Back to you, Maria.
It's such a pleasure to be in such a great virtual company. And now I would like to explain to our judges, there are some new faces today, how to use our voting platform. Each of you have a link, which Mr. Evans sent you on Saturday, I guess. Please click to this link. Be sure that you are logged in under your profile name. Then you will be redirected to the session Startups Pitching Live. There you will see our startups, logos, and their names. Beneath each name, you will see the numbers from 1 till 5. 1 is the lowest mark, 5 is the highest mark. And please estimate each of our startups today, and no confirmation button is needed. And should you have any questions, please send me direct messages here in chat, and I will assist you if you have any issues. And now we are moving to our most elated moment, to our wonderful startups. I wish everyone good luck and pass the floor to John.
Okay, thank you very much, Maria. So we're ready to go, and I'll just remind each of the startups and each of the judges that you have up to a maximum of 5 minutes to present and up to a maximum of 5 minutes for Q&A. So we have a lot of companies tonight, 9, so let's make sure we stay strictly to the time if we can. So let's kick things off right away. The order that has been decided, and start with the first startup, which is Kashi, please.
Hey guys, I'm quickly sharing my screen. Can you all see the screen?
Yep.
Perfect. Then let me get started. So hi everyone, thank you for the opportunity to be here today. I'm Gregor, and I'm going to introduce you to Kashi. Kashi is a Vienna-based fintech that, in simple words, does asset-based consumer lending, meaning you receive a loan and in exchange you provide an asset as a security. The problem, or how it all started, we saw that there's a growing part of people that do not qualify for consumer loans or finance anymore, for various reasons. Yet these people still have financial needs. So we decided to find a way to allow them to still receive finance when needed. Inevitably, this brings you back at some point to securing these loans. A big issue is that asset-based lending or pawnbroking is often perceived as a delicate or even dubious industry for various reasons. And we decided we want to change that. Hence, what we have created is the world's first digital ecosystem for asset-based consumer loans or pawn loans. We provide our users with a 100% transparent, super easy and convenient solution that allows them to request a loan directly on their smartphone from wherever they are. The product itself is a 100% digital end-to-end software that handles the entire lending process. People register online, instantly receive a value for their items, and as we buy and sell those items, and additionally we crawl the web for additional data, we have perfect visibility basically of market prices. This means the payout can be optimized. It's high enough for the users to actually be happy about the payout, but never too high, avoiding a loss on our side. At the end of the loan, the users can then choose to either pay back the loan or extend it. And if not, the asset is simply sold off basically automatically via commonly used marketplaces and platforms. Traditional pawnbrokers tend to destroy value by giving you a shitty payout, then waiting months to sell it off. By optimizing this process and selling it at a higher price, we actually manage to sustain value. Right. Our traction. Over the last 12 months, our loan book was grown by more than 3x. That's a CMGR of more than 10%. This is still the August data. By now, we're actually above 2 million by now. Our monthly recurring revenue has increased proportionally to currently more than 120K. And, sorry about that. And in terms of equity raised, so far, we are at about 6 million that we could take into the company, and we've reached a point where we see that we need to change our capitalization from equity to debt. Our recovery rate is more than 100%. That means that our portfolio is basically risk-free. We sell items always for more than what we have provided the users in terms of payouts. And the accumulated payout as of today is more than 12 million. We've just launched our second market, Germany, a couple of weeks ago, but being the first player on the market, we still need to pick up the pace and grow even faster. To give you an idea, the European market for pawn revenue is estimated at $10 billion US market at more than 15. To allow us to tackle this potential ASAP, we're currently looking for investments, not just equity, but also combinations of equity and debt. Yeah, thank you for listening. Hand over to you guys.
Yeah, I'll give you the floor in 1 second, but I'd like to ask one quick question just to round off the description, which is focused more on the financial. I'd like to understand the operational side with respect to the collateral, and I have just 3 very quick questions. How do you determine what collateral you will take and how do you value it? Secondly, how do you take possession of that collateral and what are the custody arrangements? And thirdly, what are the consequences of a sale if you have a surplus or a deficiency? Thank you.
So let me start by answering question number 1. In terms of what kind of categories or types of items we accept as collateral, so that's a design or that's a predetermined set of categories we do. The requirements is always that there's a good secondary market for these things, so you need to be able to sell them off quite fastly. And all of the items that we take as collateral, they are kind of have a commodity character to it. So when you talk about iPhones, consumer electronics in general, etc., as long as they're young or almost new, etc., it's the predicted prices or the market prices over time. They're much less volatile than when you look at gold or other actual commodities. And what we see is that this is something that we can really rely on. And the data that we've now seen over the last 3 years is that these categories, they simply qualify well in terms of reliability of market prices. On point two, how do we take possession of the collateral? So there's various ways, depending on how fast the customers actually need the finance. From one side, the one extreme is they need it immediately. So they have a possibility. We obviously have warehouses where we store these items. And what we also have there is like booths where people can actually come by, drop them off, and take money right away. Either have it transferred to the bank account, PayPal, or even in cash up to a certain value, obviously depending on AML regulations. And the other extreme is that people are at home. They don't even want to leave their house. Maybe they're a bit ashamed that they need finance or whatever. So they go online, they find us, and we have in the biggest cities of Austria and Germany, we have a courier service. So it's basically the same day it's being picked up. The next day it'll be delivered to our warehouse, and the next day you'll actually have the payouts. In between, what's always must happen is that the verification step. So whichever way you choose, either via shipping, courier, or personal drop-off, it needs to be verified by our staff that the properties that you have specified the item has is actually correct.
Okay,
and the
thank you.
Third question, sorry. The third question I don't recall at the moment.
Was the sale surplus or deficiency?
Yeah, correct. So there is legal boundaries to that. So when you sell it with a surplus of I say X%, in Austria it's around 18%. In Germany that's a bit less. In other countries, sometimes there is limit, sometimes there's not. When you get to that point where the surplus is too high, you need to transfer that to the customer. So you're basically selling it in their name. So if we have an item pawned for, I don't know, 50 years, we sell it for 100. We can obviously deduct the capital amount, we can deduct the interest and the fees. And if that's 70 years, we need to transfer 30 years to the customers. From our side, though, is important. We want to be as high as possible to the payout amounts. We want to minimize the surplus that we're generating from the sales. First of all, keep things easy. We don't need to transfer money afterwards to the clients. And also, we want to be fair and transparent. So when you need cash today and you're pawning an iPhone for it, at least what you can do with Cashy is you get a 70% payout. Then over time, there's kind of depreciation component, there's an interest component, fees component, etc. So if we then sell it off for 95 euros, the 5 we can actually keep on top. But the idea here is to generate income via the interest. So the higher the payout to you, the higher the interest to us. And the surplus in the end is just additional workload.
Okay, let's go to Gaio and then Mike to close this first presentation off.
Thank you, John. Really interesting concept. I would just compliment to John's previous questions. Can you just tell us about your competitive landscape? What makes you special, considering there is quite a few pawn shop or pawn brokering digital ecosystems that are working to improve that kind of landscape. So tell us a bit more about what makes you special and what's your differentiation strategy.
Yeah. So thank you for that question. There's two types of competition. One is a direct competition where you say that there might be digital players already in the market, but the biggest competition is definitely from stationary brick and mortar business. So pawn shops is one of the, we always say, the second oldest industry there is, the second oldest business model in the world. It's been there for a very long time. And then stationaries, obviously, they're huge in terms of loan books. They're huge in terms of how they lend. But the big issue that they have is they're stationary. So people, it's always a geographic issue. You'll go to the one pawn store, store that you'll find in the town that you live in or whatever, but you don't travel very far. Cash is online. So the market, the user acquisition, etc., it's national. You always go for the full country. And by having that courier service and the logistics provider that now they deliver you Amazon packages, they deliver you everything. They also just pick up things. They do that for various other industries as well. So that is the huge advantage over the brick and mortar business compared to other digital players. So there is some, especially in the German speaking countries now, and obviously that I would refer to at the moment. There is those. The big advantage that we have is you get an instant valuation. So the biggest end of user journey that you have with the other competitors is they need to specify the value to you. So you can send in whatever you want, but they only tell you the payout after they have reviewed the item. You don't instantly receive a valuation online. So that's a huge advantage. And then what you have also with Cashy is that it's an end-to-end solution. So once you register, you're on the website. The loans are running. You can extend them online. You can pay them back online. You have various payment methods, etc. And in the end, you kind of have a credit management system on the user side. And from our side, once the item is kind of in storage, it's in our network. Also the valorization process works automatically. So anything that has a price to it,
thank you for your detailed elaboration. I understood perfectly what you had to say. Good
Okay,
luck.
let's just close off quickly. Final question by Mike.
A quick question: what is the annual interest rate you charge, and what are the admin charges?
So the nominal, we do a monthly interest rate, and that's 3%. Admin charges depends on the category and the storage volume. So if it's larger items, it's a bit more. If it's small, like iPhones, it's basically nothing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. So judges, if you want to quickly put down a mark from 1 to 5, you can review these at the end. We'll give it 1 minute, and then we'll be ready for bit okay. Start whenever you're ready, bit okay.
Thank you so much. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Great. So my name is Jana Albert. I'm PR specialist at BitOK. Actually, our founder was supposed to be presenting today, but unfortunately his flight was delivered. So he's running late, so that'll be me today. So BitOK is a B2B and B2C SaaS designed to help any crypto market player get rid of AML and tax issues worldwide. And I will start with a statement that no matter how cryptocurrencies try to be outside of the regulatory system, they have failed to escape the attention of regulators represented by states. As a result, at present, cryptocurrency owners, they have to monitor the quality of their assets, they have to prove the legitimacy of their funds, calculate and pay taxes, and interact with banks. In the meantime, the market is still growing, and up to 1 billion cryptocurrency users are expected by 2026. So we create a product that the market really needs. In B2B segment, the service includes portfolio tracker that allows to view assets across all your accounts from both sexes and dexes, monitor volumes, portfolio distribution, see capital gains and taxes. AML and KYC risk scoring, which alerts to possible risks associated with illicit activities, and then tells how to proceed in that situation. And here we draw an analogy with like checkup to assess the health of your crypto portfolio. Tax reporting. So in whatever country you are, our ambition is to give the tool to users that will allow them to form any tax declaration in just 3 clicks. And documents with a list of transactions from a certain period or from certain sources that will prove to the bank or exchange the origin of the funds. In the B2B segment, we offer a compliance as a service solution and offer banks, exchanges, and others to save a tool that will save them days from checking AML and the origin of their users' funds. And most importantly, the service is already there. It's live and working, and actually still free of charge. So feel free to check it out. How we plan to monetize it. So in B2C, there will be a SaaS model, a subscription that will allow to control portfolio permanently. In B2B, as I mentioned, it will be in the form of a license. We actually have already trying out traffic, and we got 8% conversion rate in paid traffic and 5% conversion rate in organic. Not bad, but a lot to strive for. We actually started as a tech solution only, but even with such modest functionality, we managed to become noticeable on the market, won the Startup Contest Award, and most importantly, we processed $500 million worth of user transactions data. In B2B, we are just starting, but we already have some signed letters of intent and pilots run with big players on the market. Our competitive advantages. So we have competitors, and we are happy because of this, because there's, first of all, someone to look up to at minimum. But unlike our competitors, we focus on developing features that are hard to replicate, partially with our B2B solutions. Our service could be seen as a combination of the three major competitors that have been on the market for some time, such as CoinFirm, Zenledger, and Zabo, which was actually acquired by Coinbase. Their total capitalization is over $1 billion, and their successes are impressive, but we are already stepping on their toes. So within our current request within seed round is 900K, which will provide us with 18 months runway. And we need this for fast market expansion, marketing, and to prove the unique technology we have. So in the next 6-8 months, we plan to launch the product, the AML feature, and to start working on the developed markets, namely Europe, MENA region, USA, and as an experiment, we are looking at the Asian crypto hubs like Vietnam, Philippines, and Indonesia. B2K was founded by 3 partners with extensive experience in fintech, development, cryptocurrencies, and legal matters. And moreover, it's not their first project together. B2K is committed to building a diverse team made up of individuals regardless of their gender, race, and religion. There is respect for minority rights, and just as with AML, the company's position is that there should be no prejudice against people, and the person can only be judged on pure merits. So there are full-time 15 employees. The team respects like gig culture, plays online games, and watches Rick and Morty. Why us? So I like this statement: taxis don't like Uber, hotels don't like Airbnb, banks don't like Bitcoin. So in my opinion, it reflects well the reality in which cryptocurrencies always tend to get out of the control. But in BitOK, we truly believe that the crypto industry can live its life alongside with traditional finance and banks. The only limitation is the gap between the two. And on the B2B side, we are bridging this gap between traditional finance, banks, and crypto users. And on the B2C side, we want to give people a tool that will allow them to focus on the most important thing in crypto, which is earning, and not bother about AML and tax issues. So this is the QR code where you can chat with our CEO and founder if you have like very specific questions, and in case I'm not able to answer them at the moment, but you're interested, please feel free to ask him anything.
Okay. Well, we've got a lot of experts out here in the audience tonight. So who would like to address the first question? Povilas, you're on mute. Go ahead.
Hi there. My question would be a little bit with the KYC related, right? Since you mentioned that your product will include risk scoring, so I suspect that there will be an element of the KYC of the B2B or B2C client, right? So maybe you could elaborate on how are you getting to know the client? What will be the procedure? Are you going to do this internally or using the third party provider? Thanks.
Thank you for the question. That's a really nice question. So we call it KYT, know your transaction, which is I think more relevant to our situation. So how actually like the data is gathered into the system. The user connects his IPI keys so that we only see the fact of the transaction. And then we have partners, for example, like Crystal, which provide us with the data on AML in particular. So basically that's we prefer to buy this data from data miners because there are like many that's their market, and we don't want to be there, right? That's not our mission, and we prefer to buy this data from Crystal, for example, or chain analysis. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, that clarifies. Yeah.
Okay. Is there another question?
Yeah, I do have some questions. So conceptually, looking to the future, where do you see your biggest focus, to the retail users or to the institutions, and where do you want to focus in mid-range future?
I think in the mid-range future there will be B2C because first of all, like we are ready and we have customers and users, right? That came from our like former project, which was like tech solution only. In the B2B side, on the B2B side, as I explained, we are just exploring the place. And if we compare like how many users we would like to acquire in the midterm, in the B2C, and then in B2B there will be like 10, 15. In B2C, there will be like 20 to 25,000. So I guess for now, the major focus is on B2C.
Okay, gotcha. Another question: what is your user retention rate? And you have said that you have some revenues, but as I remember, you do have 15,000 revenues with 5,000 users. So what is their conversion rate from free user to the paying user? And how long are they willing to pay on the monthly basis? Is it do they drop off after a month, after two, after half a year? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So the data the users we had were from this text-only solution, and there was a bit different monetization system. So now we launched the subscription, right? But previously it was only like if a person wants a tax declaration, he pays for it. That's it. So it's not on the subscription. I mean, why would a person on like monthly basis pay for tax declaration that you might need like once a year? So these are different like subscription models, and I don't want to say something that I'm not fully aware of. So that's one of the questions that probably should be addressed to our founder and the rest of the team. And since the subscription, like if you check the website, it says pricing, but if you try to pay, it will still not allow you. So basically, I don't have a clear exact answer.
Thank you.
Let me just mention to all of the judges that at the bottom of the screen, you've got a raise hand function. So if you want to ask a question, if you could press that, then that allows me to sequence the questions. Jürgen, I think you're next.
Do you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. I have with business models like that, I have one general issue. And I've been with CoinTracker for a while, for example. They do similar things.
Yeah.
First of all, you collect a lot of very confidential data. And how do you establish trust with a user that you've never met? You see, if I go to the bank or to my tax advisor, I know the guy, I know I can trust him, I've established trust with him, but you want to know all my cryptocurrency portfolios across various exchanges, custodial and non-custodial wallets. Would I give that personally to you? I doubt it. Would I pay for that on top of that? I doubt it. So how do you alleviate those trust issues? How do you want to build your audience from that? Because there are many websites like yours that do exactly the same. And as I said, I gave CoinTracker a run, but I actually withdraw from that because I'm not interested in collecting all the information about my crypto holdings with somebody I don't know.
Right. Thank you for the question. So as I, in one of my previous answers, I've already partially answered this question that users, so basically we collect only information about the transaction, right? And we don't know that these transactions, they belong to you. And I'm sure that in CoinTracker, for example, or Coinly, they don't see that this is your portfolio. And with blockchain, basically you can check anyone can check any transaction if you have you're muted, sorry.
You're muted, Jürgen.
Sorry, I completely understand, but within my account, okay, you have all the data and you accumulate that data because that's at the end of the day, that's the added value you pretend to give to a user. So in a way, you can add one and one together and you can say, oh, this one belongs to Jürgen, this one belongs to John Evans. But you have the power to do so.
Yeah, but
even
how
though
will we know that this one belongs to you? I mean, someone has something in their portfolio, but we don't know that it's your particular portfolio. On the B2B side, actually, what we are planning to do, because for banks, for example, they will require some data. They might require some data. And what we are planning to do right now is that we users, if you're a user of BitOK, you can give the rights for a bank to check the source of your funds and to check your transactions to a bank. And yes, this kind of data that will probably, if the bank plans to ban your I don't know, your card, right? Once you withdraw funds to fiat, they will still request this data. So basically, as a user, you are saving time and probably, in a matter of clicks, just download or extract the list of transactions that is required by bank. And from the bank side, it will just save them days of checking your source of funds or AML and stuff like this. And this transactions, list of transactions that will bank require, they will have our signature, and the bank, the one we partner with, will know that, okay, these guys, they checked their portfolio, it's okay, so we will not ban this user.
Okay, let's call time here, because we're running a little bit over. And the important part here is for everyone, there's a chat box. You can share your contact details, email or LinkedIn, because obviously a lot of these questions require a little bit more depth. So Judge, if you will put in your mark for BitOK, and then if Hertzwell wants to prepare to share screen. Do we have Hertzwell on board, Maria? You're on mute.
I guess not yet.
Okay, so then let's go on to the next one, which I do see, which I hope I pronounce this right, Radney.
Hello, Mr. Evans. Yes, you pronounced it correctly.
Okay, why don't you go next?
Amazing. I will go, just give me 1 second to share screen. Can everybody see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So we are living in abnormal times. COVID has spiked some sort of sociocultural revolution, from the way we work to the way we perceive that something is valuable without being tangible to an asset. The reopening of the economies, though, from the pandemic has caused inflation and energy costs to increase into unprecedented levels, resulting in a dramatically decrease of retail investors' wealth. So I'm asking you, how can a father, a mother, a student get shielded against this new situation? Ariadne will be the new exchange that empowers and levels the playing field for retail investors. We do that by giving them access to quantitative algorithmic trading strategies that will generate positive returns for them. Metaverse spaces where users will meet, exchange ideas and experiences, and co-invest under an investment community of their choices. Moreover, they will be able to borrow at 0% interest rate. Advanced risk metric tools, such as the value at risk, where we can accurately forecast with 99.5% accuracy how much money our users are going to lose over the next day, week, or so. And finally, my playground, a place for our users to test and simulate their strategies. Our mission is to transform individuals into rational and consistent and successful investors by offering them a fair share towards growing and protecting their wealth. The cryptocurrency market rose and accumulated a total of 13 trillion in transaction volumes during 2021. According to Deutsche Bank, the market is predicted to grow with an annual compound growth rate of 56.4%. Breaking down this number, we come to our service obtainable market, which is around 2 billion. With regards to competition, Binance is a dominant player, owning 65% of the market. Our business model will include three main revenue streams: subscription-based, 1% from every crypto transactions, and revenues from our native token. Why we are the right team to build this and scale? Basically, we'll leverage the fact that we are Gen Z and building for Gen Z and millennials. Personally, I did my bachelor's in business and administration, where I was taught everything about business. Then I went to serve to the Greek army, where I was honorably awarded as Lance Corporal as a recognition of my leadership skills, teamwork skills, combat skills, and written exams. And then I did my master's in mathematical trading and finance. Our COO, Anastasia, is a talented front-end engineer, and she has worked with the Russian government to develop a robot dog. She has 75,000 followers on Instagram, and she's an influencer as well. We're asking for 205,000 to develop our MVP. And this is it.
Thank you. Let me see. Let me kick off the questions. I don't see any yellow hands up yet. So a quick two-part question. I mean, on the earlier slides, in terms of what you're providing to the client, it sounds like it's an investment advisory service. Is that correct? And if so, how are you providing that service? And then the second part of the question is, if you're providing investment advisory services, does that require some sort of regulation or regulatory approval? Thank you.
Great question, Mr. Evans. So to get back to you, we are not going to give professional advices. We're going to use a service of the FCA called artillery services. So basically, we are going just to let them know how much money they're going to lose in the worst case scenario over the next day or so. So we're not advising them actually to do something. And the strategies that we mentioned in the first slides, they're going to be all with their own risk, actually. Yes, they will generate some passive returns for them if they can have some time losses from them, very rarely, because the strategies work. And we advise that it's not an advice, actually. We just let them know how much money they're going to lose on the worst case scenario. And we're going to use the artillery services.
Okay. Arturas, see your hand up.
Yeah, so I don't know if I missed if you say that or you didn't say, but which blockchain are you going to choose for your DeFi, let's say, project?
Sorry, could you please again repeat the question, because I didn't get it probably.
Yeah, so which blockchain are you going to use for your product?
Okay, great question. So we're going to use first of all, for the year one, because during year two, we are going to develop our own native eco-friendly blockchain where mining is going to be done through renewable sources, and it will be an eco-friendly ecosystem. So during year one, we're going to build on Ethereum 2 specifically, because the costs are significantly lower, and with the more volume of transactions, the costs itself, they break down, and we're going to use also the Z-Snark network, which will allow us to further reduce the cost of transactions for our users.
So again, another question. So as I understand, you want to be environmental friendly, probably to work on the proof of stake blockchains, right? But there are, hundreds or even thousands of blockchains created already, which can serve the need what you need. So the question is, do you really need your own blockchain? And if yes, why so? Because just an example, Chia blockchain is environmental friendly. It is kind of the green Bitcoin, as it is called, and they are cheap, fast, and so on. So why would you need your own blockchain?
Great question, Mr. Arturas. So first of all, the plan to develop our own blockchain is to be able to create a cyclical win-win system for everyone. So basically, once we go to create our own blockchain, we will need some renewable resources to power up our own network, which means investments in photovoltaic parts or wind energy. So we're going to break down these investments, we're going to fragmentize it, and we're going to break it down in smaller pieces. So if you are one of our users, you'll be able to invest in our blockchain and in return receive some returns potentially from the profits that your investment will have. In this way, as a user also, when you will be using our own native token and our own native blockchain, you won't have any crypto transaction fees to pay, actually, because you will be using our own native blockchain, and you'll be also participating in the eco-friendly eco-friendly blockchain ecosystem that we will develop.
So as I understand, you are not going to build a blockchain only for your purposes, but it will be kind of the public blockchain for others to use as well, right?
Yes, exactly, Mr. Arturas. We first of all, we'll first build it for ourselves and our users, so they can have like faster transactions, cheap transactions, and then we're going to expand it, and everyone will be able to use our own blockchain, actually.
Yeah, so just the last thing from my side, I would strongly advise you to think how and why, how you are going to attract other players, other projects on your blockchain, and how you're going to incentivize them, because I just came back from multiple different events in Dubai and in other regions, and there are literally hundreds, close to thousands of different blockchains. And in the end of the day, there are not enough startups for all these blockchains. So again, you have to stand out somehow and to have very clear value proposition in order to attract attention. Or you can give the grants, but again, I don't think that you have money full of pockets full of money to spread the cash to the startups as grants. So just an advice for the future. So this is from me.
Okay. Let's close it off with the questions here from Darius. And Darius, you're on mute. So just okay.
Yes, thank you. So just on a short question from my side, you mentioned that you're going to charge subscription fee like $1 per user. I just would like to understand, what kind of services I can get specifically, for this specific $1.
Great question, Mr. Darius. So basically, we're gonna charge £3 per month. The subscription will be, and the services you will be getting is our algorithmic trading strategies. So the idea is that you will be just pressing a button, you will participate in the strategy, and you'll be earning your passive returns. Now, our vision is to put a personal AI trader that will execute all these strategies into every smartphone. So essentially, this is what you will be getting, as well as with our advanced metrics, and also these quantitative strategies that will generate some positive returns for you. So, and also, you'll be going to the metaverse where there are the investment communities. For example, you might prefer ESG investments, more aggressive stocks, more defensive stocks. There will be an investment community for you that you will be going there and meet other people, exchange ideas and experiences. But the main service you will be getting is our strategies and the advanced risk metrics tools, actually.
Okay, thank you. And maybe the last question from my side, if I may ask, in terms of algo trading. So do you have any kind of history to show? Because when we speak about the algo trading, it needs to have at least some history behind. So do you have such a data or not?
Yes, regarding the two strategies that we are going to actually apply, I do have that I have played myself while I was at college there. Regarding some other strategies, I have tested them, but I don't have like the trading costs because these are expensive to get, and you can only get them from a broker such as Nomura or BlackRock. So they are quite I would say expensive data to get. But yeah, some of them are already tested and they work.
Cool.
Okay, so the judges, if you want to take a moment to put your score down, and we'll get ready for the presentation that is up next by Staple.
Thank you, John. Just share my screen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Ben. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Staple. We're a Singapore-based company specializing in intelligent document processing, reading, interpreting, reconciling, and extracting data from a range of document types, regardless of their layout or language. Why do we do this? I'll explain a little bit about the problem we're solving. You see, automation is the holy grail for almost every company in the world today. And relatively speaking, it is straightforward to automate a process where you can control all the moving parts, where you can control the structure, the nature of the data that you're automating. So it's clean, structured data. It could be in an SQL database. It could be in an Excel spreadsheet. But if you can control that data, it's relatively easy to automate. The harsh reality is, particularly when you're dealing on a global stage, you're getting data in all sorts of formats, file types, languages, layouts, and styles. Your customers, your vendors, your counterparties, your partners are exchanging data with you in non-structured format, a range of document types. It could be anywhere from e-invoice all the way through to a photograph of a document. Getting this data into a format that is structured, which you can therefore automate in your enterprise systems, is quite a tedious and expensive process. So we built Staple to automate a business-to-business document transfer. We ingest any document type, anything from a digital document all the way through to a scan, photograph, or a PDF. This could be PNG, TIFF, JPEG, Word, or Excel. I use document in the very broadest sense. We do this in more than 105 languages, and this is important because a lot of traditional competition have been built on tools like OCR, which was built around English and Latin character script. Being based in Singapore, this is essential, and this is the reality of dealing on a global stage. You can't just exchange data in one language. We don't just do one document at a time, but we do up to 10 files at once. Again, this is something that our competitors don't focus on as much. We get the data from documents, but we also match for consistency and detect anomalies in the documents we process. And we have reinforcement AI, which is available through our user interface, but we can also offer connectivity through our APIs. Just to see a sample of how this works in action, this is just a snapshot of how we process the document in Japanese. This is a relatively straightforward one, but we're processing in the native script. In a second, we've just translated it into English. And now a company who previously struggled to transact across borders is operating on the global stage, down to the line items in this table. We operate not on a template basis. So OCR is a bit limited in the way it operates because it's built on templates and rules. We work on models, meaning that we can handle variations in styles and layouts, regardless of where data may appear on a page. This is something we can give to the customer if they wish to train new document types. I'm deliberately showing you a document that many of you probably don't recognize because the point I'm trying to make is that anybody can train our AI to understand new documents. So we have a number of different models that are available publicly, but if you have a new document type that we've never seen before, an intern with no experience, no data science or machine learning background can train models and participate in the AI transformation process. I mentioned the reconciliation. Again, this is something that a lot of our competitors don't offer, and it is incredibly powerful when you're processing document-heavy or data-intensive workflows. We are generating revenue. We're working with 3 global banks at the moment, as well as international insurance companies. We are working with a lot. So 2 areas where we focus very heavily is banking, financial services, and insurance. Obviously, that's why I'm here today. But also in document-heavy, data-intensive workflows, such as complex supply chain companies. So that's FMCG and some F&B companies where you have a lot of documentation when you're shipping across borders. It's about 50-50 at the moment, but we do a lot of different pieces of automation for the financial services sector. Everything in light blue on this page is something we do for a bank or an insurance company today. So we can do anything from KYC and onboarding all the way through to credit assessments by reviewing financial statements, claims processing for insurance companies, and a lot of back office and middle office processing for a number of documents types, such as trade settlement reconciliations. Some of our customers started using us for one use case. One bank has expanded us to 16 use cases across the organization. So it is very flexible and scalable. Our primary revenue driver is around consumption. So customers are charged in correlation to what they use, the volume of documents we process for them. We also charge for implementation and setup. And we also charge for any extra levels of premium support via SLAs. So if they do require 24 hours around the clock support, we can offer that, but there is a price for that. My name is Ben. I'm one of the co-founders. I am an accountant and lawyer by training. And I experienced this firsthand as a consultant with KPMG and also when I worked as a CFO briefly. My co-founder Josh is a PhD computer scientist. We have a number of PhDs who have been involved in the development of our technology. And we are supported by 15 other team members across the world. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm happy to take any questions.
Okay, let me just kick it off with a quick one, and then I'll turn over to you, Povilas. Ben, 2 questions, both relating to the 10 countries of ASEAN and Europe. You cover every language in those 2 geographies, even different ones, like the Thai characters. And the second part of the question is, if you're focusing on ASEAN and Europe, how developed are you? Is it mostly ASEAN so far, and you're just looking at Europe? What's the development of your commercialization?
So thank you for the question. We support every business language. So there are a lot of dialects. I think there's something like 800 languages in Papua New Guinea alone. We don't support all of those. But if it is a fundamental business language, then it's likely we support it. Thai, yes, is something we would support. We have users and paying customers using us for processing Thai. Vietnamese, yes. A number of Indian scripts as well, including working with the likes of SAP to support them in deploying their solution. We are based in Singapore, yes, so we have primarily been focused on Asia. As far north as Hong Kong, we also support as far west as Pakistan and India. In Europe, we are starting to get traction. We are working with some banks that are based out of Europe. And we have also started working with some organizations based out of the Isle of Man who have their insurance operations either headquartered or have a major operation in the Isle of Man. This is because some of the insurance companies have domiciled reinsurance operations there that handle international claims and international policies, and we're a good fit for those.
Okay, so next we'll go to Povilas and then the question by David.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Really interesting presentation. My question is somewhat related to what John asked, but since I had a personal case with Bangladesh, where in Bangla, in their characters, same character can have multiple meanings. You mentioned that target is towards the business language. However, still you must be getting into the situation where one can have multiple meanings. So what do you do with those? And then in addition to that, does that mean that when you get into those, let's call them false positives, does that come as a manual support from your side, from the business side, or you use the machine learning? Maybe you can elaborate if you fully understand. If not, I can just clarify.
I understand. I can't answer this as well as my CTO can, but we are working in Bangladesh. We have a paying customer in Bangladesh at the moment. So this is something we are familiar with, and it's not just confined to that country as well. So I guess there's a few things we do in this scenario. The AI, both through the API and the user interface, returns confidence values for the data points it extracts. And if it is a low confidence value, then we typically notify the user. We notify a human. That could be a customer representative, or it could be one of our team. We do have some team members that can provide a manual review for the solution, but that's optional. Our solution works without any human support from our side. I guess the other measure that we have is that the AI tries as best as possible to look for context. So if there is a character that is perhaps has dual meanings, then yeah, we need to look at the surrounding information in order to determine the best match. We don't just look for the words on the page. We look for context as well. So it's spatial proximity to other words. There is an element of some NLP involved in what we do as well. It's not just OCR and machine learning. There's some natural language elements. But those are probably the three things that the three measures we have. But yeah, if it is still uncertain, then yes, a human will be notified so it can conduct manual review, provide feedback, interact with the UI, and hopefully the AI will not make that mistake again, or it will begin to learn how to distinguish between these dual meanings.
Okay. David, I think you're next.
So I only have two simple questions. The first one is, your solutions could process Chinese?
Yes, it does. Traditional and simplified.
Okay, good. Another one is have you patented your technology, or is that technology can be replicable by other guys? Yeah, how easily?
Yeah, no, we don't have any patents at this stage. I mean, this is something we haven't explored too thoroughly, because some of the advice we had that was a little bit indefensible, and there was workarounds if a competitor wanted to tweak aspects of source code that could get around the patent. So yeah, I'm happy to take any kind of advice on this, but we haven't looked at that extensively.
Okay, thank you.
Let's close off with a quick one from Jürgen.
Hi, Ben. I love the product. I have to say, especially with the term to Asia, important questions have been asked. Just one comment, as I saw you are here for marketing mostly. Your brand doesn't sell your product. You have an amazing product, I think. I can see the potential. Okay. But the name Staple reminds me of Staples. The icon and the image reminds me of old photocopy machines where you do manual work and labor. you have to work on that. Your brand does not sell this amazing product. That's my comment on that side. But I think it's amazing. I mean, I've been looking for a solution like that for a client a couple of years ago, especially with travel and reimbursements, and it's marvelous. I mean, if it really works and you sort the Chinese letters and the Thai letters and all of that double meanings, perfect. Best of luck.
Thank you, and thanks for that feedback. That's something I'll look into. I didn't think of that, but yeah, that's a fair point.
Okie doke. So let's quickly put down our mark. If Hertzwell has not arrived, then we'll ask Vulos to prepare to share screen.
Everyone, let me quickly share my screen. Okay, so thank you everyone. I'm Gentian and I'm CEO and co-founder of Vulos. I'm going to stop the video because I don't have that good internet here where I am. Sorry about that. Okay, so let me close this widget. Okay, thank you everyone. I'm Gentian and I'm CEO and co-founder of Vulos, a Swiss blockchain startup. So we've seen lately a lot of, let's say, DeFi, GameFi, crypto exchanges, etc. In the market, but there is no trust within the market. So like a year ago, we started with where we saw potential within the market, and we're working on the disrupting decentralized identities and digital signatures. So Vulos comes with Vulos Identity, which is a self-sovereign decentralized digital identity that allows you to have control over your data. It's a privacy-preserving identity. And Signature, a decentralized application that helps you to sign, verify, and protect any document and in-app transactions. And in this case, the Vulos token is going to be the native energy efficient token that will empower the Vulos ecosystem. Vulos Identity is built on top of enterprise and open source standards such as OpenID Connect and OAuth, which are self-sovereign identity compatible technologies, as well as it uses a very interesting, how to say, privacy preserving identities within blockchain industry, as well as it can be used within Web3 or Web2 industry, doesn't matter, which are called soul-bounded identities. This is a very new concept where, for example, we issue a non-transferable NFT which is a unique identifier for each user that has completed the process of onboarding and has reached a certain point of trust. For example, we do have different trust levels, and these levels can be reached and can be increased based on the good actions that your soul-bound identity is being used. As well as we do have like a reusable KYC, but a privacy-preserving KYC, where, for example, an identity, a human being can actually identify himself without sharing third-party data, well, its own data to third parties. Then we have the Vulos Signature, which is a decentralized application that helps you to sign, verify, and protect any digital document through blockchain technology. Its unique offerings are immutability and proof of identity of the signers and their reasoning behind the signing a document. So with our identity solution combination with Signature, we can offer these features to the users. As well as it plays a very interesting and crucial role within the metaverse. This new concept where, for example, you can transform your physical identity or decentralized identity into a, let's say, virtual character and enter that gamified world your character can be used within different gaming marketplaces, different partners, etc. In this case, while you are participating as a good actor with good intentions, your trust level can increase. All our applications, such as identity signature, are in production, and Cryptonoids in this case it's in an MVP preview stage, which you can find within our website. Our solutions can be used in different use cases, starting from Web 2 banking solutions to Web3 crypto exchanges, DeFi platforms, and other businesses that are related to digital documents or identity verification and authentication. This is how Voulus compares, for example, to some different competitors within the market, such as Civic and Imama Crypto Profile and other competitors, as well as traditional DocuSign, HelloSign, and Signature, which none of them can actually offer immutability, proof of identity or business identity, and certificate of ownership for those digital documents. We come from an extensive experience, so we have made our solutions to be user-friendly, and they can be easy integratable within third parties, since our main, let's say, clients or could be are actually B2B solutions. So we do have all the documentation tools and services so that third-party clients can integrate our services easily. We come from a software engineering background with extensive experience on such platforms. Voulus has more than 15 people that are already working for its services and building the ecosystem of the applications. Our roadmap, so we started like a year ago. We are a very fresh startup, let's say, but we've had a lot of progress during the years, such as we do have partnerships with Veles blockchain, which is a Swiss entity as well, and recognized from as well, got a grant from Fund for Innovation and Development. We do have some pilot projects that are traditional finances, but as well as some crypto exchanges and other partners such as Chainlink, and we are working to become partner with AWS, 3D Ventures, and we are finalists at Binance Labs, and we as well as won some prizes within competitions such as AIBC, second winner, Tech for Money Hackathon, and some other prizes. We are at the stage of fundraising, where we do have a hybrid model of either equity or token investments. Our fundraising goal is 1.4 million, where we split to 700K of equity investments and 700K of token investments. The Voulus token is going to be the native energy efficient token that is going to be used in our pay-per-use business model or pay-per-transaction, within Voulus signature, identity, authentications to play Cryptonoids, stake, receive cashback, transaction fees, etc. So we are at the process of already fundraising the token part to 250K, and we are aiming to close this this round. We do have some interesting VCs that are interested, such as Okta and other identity providers that want to expand to this, let's say, Web3 ecosystem. That's kind of our journey at Voulus. I do see a lot of, as well, other startups that are pitching that could become, that we could become partners, that we can work together from the documents extraction to other startups that pitched regarding the crypto blockchain sphere. So would be happy to stay in touch and find potential partners.
Okay, let's kick the questions off. I think Arturas was first and Mike is second. Arturas, you're on mute. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so nice pitch. I do have a few questions. Again, as I said, I do have some experience in crypto space. So the question, having in mind the current crypto bear market, can you please elaborate on your listing strategy and vesting schedules, cliff, etc. When do you plan to make your token liquid? And could you please elaborate regarding exchanges, liquidity, market making, and so on and so forth?
Exactly. So to be honest, we started our fundraising process a few months ago, but then the crypto market crashed. So we do have detailed tokenomics that I can share with you, and there we have the vesting schedules and all other details about our tokenomics. Regarding listing to different exchanges, as I mentioned, we are already finalists at Binance Labs. We do have some potential clients in terms of L-Bank, LED token, and those can be as well our listing partners. But since we have DEXs within crypto, it's not a problem to list Vooloo's token into these DEXs and provide liquidity. As per market making, we do have some partners there, but as the other colleagues presented, we saw algorithmic trading, which can be used as well for market making, etc. So we'd be happy to explore opportunities together there.
Okay, and I'm a little bit missing. You can send in private or to LinkedIn.
Sure.
The fundraising on, or basically equity sale. So now you presented only the token sale, but it would be interesting to see about the equity as well, not only tokens.
Sure, I would be happy to share these details with you. We'll share as well as the contacting information here within the chat, so feel free to ping.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Mike is next, and then Jürgen is after, and that.
Okay, a simple question. I'm sorry, I'm not sure how you monetize this. How do you actually make money?
So as I said, our business model is pay per transaction. This means that the Vooloo's source of revenue and source of income can be in, for example, identity authentications and verifications, or paper document signing and other transactions that can happen within the Vooloo's ecosystem. So we do have a business model like pay per transaction. In this case, we don't have subscription models. And our partners and clients actually pay for such, let's say, actions that happen within Vooloo's.
Okay,
I hope that clarifies your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Jürgen, final question for Vooloo's.
Yes, just very briefly. I mean, I spoke about trust before, which I think is getting increasingly important when it comes to crypto space. How do you distinguish yourself from soul-bound tokens on the Ethereum blockchain? Cardano is also working on that at a rapid speed. Those are very established blockchains. And is it really worthwhile to create a new token for that, or are you built on any of those blockchains? Can you elaborate a bit on that?
So Vooloo's identity is cross-chain. This means that we will issue a soul-bounded token per soul in this case. So we are the issuer of those soul-bounded, which we say that there's an existing human being with such trust, and this is its level. For example, we do have different levels of soul-bounded identities, such as basic, general, renegade, etc. We have, let's say, gamified those levels. But for example, we are launching soon something called Vooloo's Quest. For example, you can participate in different projects. You can use your soul-bound token to become a trusted actor, and in this case, our soul-bounded NFTs can be cross-chain compatible. So we are working with our partner Chainlink so that we can build this trusted oracle within the blockchain industry, so that different DeFi applications such as Aave, Compound can fetch this data within their smart contracts, and then they can lower collateral ratios, or for example, decentralized insurance to verify identities which are based on these soul-bounded tokens, etc. This is how we are creating some kind of, let's say, cross-chain decentralized trust management system. That's the aim. And for example, the colleague that shared the AML procedures with, for example, transaction monitoring, that can be an extensive plugin, for example, for increasing trust, whether your wallet has been in some certain scam or hack, etc. So this is
Okay.
a participation of all our partners to achieve a certain goal and certain success. Thank you.
So judges, take a moment to put in your marks, and let's get the share screen ready for benefits, which is next on the list.
Hi, everyone. Do you see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah, great. Okay. So, say me when I can start, okay?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, hello, everyone. My name is Vagan. I'm the founder of Benefits. Benefits is no-code reward infrastructure for small, medium-sized enterprises and global startups from all over the world. Just long story short, to put you in the context, we're a small, exceptional team, 2 founders and 40 members. Founders worked 4 years of them in domain expertise. Previously, we built employee benefit startup up to Series A, and after sold it to our competitor in our domain market. Right now, we creating benefits. We launched our product in October 2022, 2 months ago. We have 300 customers right now, and we are pre-seed stage startup raising 1 million via Save. We incorporated as Delaware C Corp company. So what is reward market today? Today, 90% of companies use rewards in their daily business operation. Every day we interacting CPA programs. In employment space, we interacting with employee benefits, one-time rewards for KPIs and whenever else. And that means that over 50 million small, medium-sized enterprises in the United States and the European Union use rewards and spend over $500 billion per year to operate with this kind of business operations. So how rewards work today? It's 100 different solutions, from old-fashioned physical flyers to complicated own software. When you try to provide great user experience, you always need to implement some complicated software or create even your own software, which is expensive and time-consuming. And in other cases, you always provide some bad user experience to your end users, I mean, customers, visitors, community, or employees. So what we build is no-code infrastructure where you can create, run, and manage any kind of rewards in one place. It's flexible, so you can reward anyone for anything. It's fast. You need just 5 minutes to run your reward program. It works like construction. And it's available on web and mobile. It's very simple and handy. So how it works, you just create your reward, you share it to selected people, you can make it private or public, and then you manage actions that end users submit to get your reward. That's pretty simple. And right now, our customers, I mentioned with that have 300 customers, right now they're using it primarily to create employee benefits programs, to CPE programs, and referral campaigns mainly. Yeah, so our customers enjoy our simple user interface. It's like Notion style interface, implementation speed, and no entry costs. So a few words about our target customers. As I say, it's small, medium-sized enterprises and startups up to 100 employees. They're looking for best UX solution without code or endless integration, and they're looking for achieve multiply goals with one solutions, like in Notion, like in Figma, and similar services. So we focus on ordinary users. Creating a reward program in our platform is just like creating an Instagram post. It's like easy, yeah. And our competitors, they primarily focus on advanced user center and the enterprises. You need coding with that solution, like loyalty plan, viral loops, while or whenever else. So right now we launched our product and have 300 customers. So right now we are pre-revenue stage. We work closely with our customers to get feedback, to increase engagement rate, and we have to achieve 100K MRR during the next year, during the next 12 months. Our business model, we plan to implement it in 3-4 months, maybe, will be monthly subscription based on frequency of use for our customers. So it will start from $100 per month, which is quite low for that kind of enterprise software. So as I say before, we work together for more than 7 years. 2 founders, me is responsible for fundraising, business activities, sales, marketing, legal financing, and my partner Hassan is responsible on technical side, on product development, design, and all kind of product and long-term vision. And we have 4 more development guys working full-time basis with us. So we have 1 hustle and 5 hackers right now. So we are raising 1 million safe round to increase our runway up to 24 months to build new platform features and fund our growth up to 500 paying customers and prepare our business for big seed round or even go straight to Series A round, because we see that we can go straight to Series A with that funds. So, and the last slide, our long-term vision is capture up to 5% of market, which means over 2 million customers and 10 billion valuation for investors. So we have not only online businesses as customers, but offline as well, as you can see in screenshot. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So that's it. Yeah.
Just a note to judges, put your hand down after you finished a question that you've put it up for, so we know that's current. Let me kick off with just two simple questions related to commercialization. Question 1, you said you had 300 plus customers, but you're pre-revenue. So presumably these are just people that you're testing out with, as opposed to paying customers. What do you think you will be able to convert in terms of those trial customers into real customers? Second question is, what is your marketing strategy? Because if you're targeting small to medium-sized companies, that means a very large number of companies. How are you going to get traction there?
Yeah, okay. Thank you for your questions. So first of all, about our customer and switching them to paying customers. Right now we take our 100% effort to increase engagement rates. We understand that we are on pre-seed and our product market fit is not strong right now. So if we just put on our monetization right now, we see that the churn rate will be high at the highest level. Yeah. So right now we primarily focus to get as many helpful feedback as we can to increase engagement rate, to see how our customers using our platform, because it needs to time. When you just creating reward programs, you need to time maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 months to see how it works, how many actions end users submitting, how you reward them, to elaborate the efficient of that reward programs, and then you can make the choice if you're ready to pay for this or not ready. Yeah. So basically right now we're working on that, and that because we identify ourselves as pre-seed. Yeah, it's pre-seed and pre-revenue. And the second question is about acquiring many customers. Yeah, that's a great question. So we don't spend any penny to acquire these customers. All of them come to us through word of mouth and startup community, and we looking for some viral mechanics. For example, when our customers create public reward programs, for example, CPA programs, yeah, download our application and get $2 rewards, for example. They share it with their community, so community can go through the link, find our product, and register by themselves. So we're looking for viral mechanics. That's the point one, and that's the point two. We started work with some marketing agencies who had 100 customers, 200 customers. For example, marketing agency who work closely with some small businesses and help them with marketing.
Okay.
We are like
Okay.
marketing tool. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So Len, two more questions. I think Remco is next and then Povilas after him.
Yeah, thank you very much for your
Yeah,
presentation. So my first question is, how do you measure engagement? Because I've been in the engagement field myself, having studied neuropsychology. So how do you measure employee engagement? How do you measure, let's say employees becoming more happy by using these reward programs internally, especially when you think about startups, because of course you have the subscription model, but I don't necessarily see how this is like rewarding for small teams. You say up to 10 users in the beginning. Well, this kind of solution could easily be solved in a different way than through a paid solution. So that's my first question. And second question is, okay, so you target B2B, but you also target real life small businesses. And then relating a little bit back to the previous question, how do you going to target such a diverse market, let's say? I think you kind of need to niche down, let's say, one specific segment and try to do it there and focus only on that instead of such a broad one, but that's just my input.
Yes, of course. About measuring our engagement rates, right now we measure two main points. First one is how many reward programs created in our platform by pair customers. Right now it's 360 reward programs, and that means that 1.2 reward programs created by every customers. But we see and we estimate our forecast that number of reward programs could be and should be 5 or more. That's the point one, and we work closely to achieve the target. We implement some kind of templates in our platform, so you can not only use constructor from a scratch, you can just use templates and create it faster, or you can image more use cases. Yeah, that's the point one. And the second measure engagement, that's the number of actions submitted by end users. Right now, only 30% of reward programs have more than 10 submitted actions. That's quite low. Yeah, I understand it. We think at least 80% of reward programs should have 10 and more submitted actions. We work on that side. Yeah. Okay. And about point two, about your second questions, I'm fully agree. Right now, to be true, honestly, we just trying and testing some many target audience. And of course, when we found the audience who ready to pay us as much as we can get, we will focus on them. It could be some kind of offline businesses or even just a startup community, because startups is a great market and they have a great revenue upside. So right now we're looking on that. Many hypotheses here. Thank you.
Povilas, why don't you put in the last question here?
Sure. Maybe there will be two, but I will try to make it quick. Since I personally was engaged with employee benefits back in the times when I used to work in Manila in a benefit startup, my question would be, do I understand correctly that your tool will be used as a technical benefits tool, not like the delivery of the benefit itself? I know it sounds quite weird, but would appreciate it. Elaborate.
Yes, I understand. Yes, exactly. It's technically management system. We don't provide some benefits providers or benefits choose.
Understood. And then in addition to that, do you have any research on employee benefits laws, rules in your target country?
Yeah, you have such a great questions because employee benefits is our the main market right now. Our platform work like we give it on the side of our customers because we work geographically agnostic, and our management system working like just a management system is like to manage benefit providing, but tax and legal issues that on the side of the companies right now. We don't work with that right now, but we'll do, of course.
Let's close things there to keep things moving along. Judges put in your scores. We still have 2 companies to get through. So let's have Machinery Scanner preparing the share screen.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. So let me know if you can see my screen.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, great. Okay, so trading heavy equipment is difficult. We make it easy. My name is Matthew Gress, and I am from Machine Scanner, the safest online marketplace for trucks and heavy equipment. We are 2 co-founders, both insiders from this industry, as we used to work for the #1. Oh, sorry, I can put it down. We are 2 co-founders, both insiders from this industry, as we used to work for the #1 advertising company for machinery in the world. Klaus Ukens joined our team as lead advisor, and this is now official. He brings with him 30 years of experience in the construction and mining industry. Darko helps us with the technical part, and Anaita takes care of the finance. This is a niche market worth billions worldwide. Every day, machines are sold and traded internationally. On this slide, we show that the annual sales of trucks and heavy equipment are forecasted to grow at least 6% in the coming years. Being insiders from this industry, we noticed real gaps. First, there is a huge lack of trust and transparency between dealers and buyers. Second, like in the car industry, there has been for years an increase in fraud and online scammers. Third, there was no one-stop solution for all machinery needs and no real aggregator system for trucks and heavy equipment. Machine Scanner brings innovative tools in this old-fashioned industry. Nobody is taking care of it, and there are huge market shares to take here. Our ambition is to become the TripAdvisor of the machinery industry. We make the trading of heavy equipment faster, easier, and safer. To respond to the trust need and fight against scammers, we created the first and only review system paired with a certification program dedicated to machinery dealers. To help dealers take control of their company image and online notoriety, we built a marketing lab. And finally, to help people find the best deal in less time, we launched the Machine Scanner aggregator system. On the one hand, with our solutions, we firstly target machinery dealers looking to improve their online presence while increasing their sales and entering into new markets. More trust means more sales. On the other hand, Machine Scanner one-stop solution enables dealers and buyers to trade heavy equipment quickly, conveniently, and efficiently. The increase of online transaction due for some reason to COVID pandemic and the need of machinery impacted by economical growth, industrial crisis, international crisis, or natural disaster constantly fuel growth in our activities. Machine Scanner is the right solution at the right time. And we are creating a network of trust and transparency, and we make it easy for dealers to attract new qualified leads, gain new customers, and sell more. You are wondering, how do we generate revenue? Easy. We have 3 main sources of revenue: subscription fee for dealers, commission fee for partners based on cross-selling agreement, and CPC for all the clicks out. Our main strength is that we have all services in one place. We do not have direct competitors combining all our tools and solutions, but we face some key players in each segment. Machine Scanner is today the only one-stop solution for all needs around machinery. Starting from Europe, our goal is to go global. We plan on helping companies from developed and emerging countries make international transactions easier and safer. Machine Scanner is a disruptive company bringing innovative tools in this old-fashioned industry. Our business model and the industry we are focusing on are resilient in any economical, environmental, and political situation. Today, we are looking for an investment with skilled business people to join us on board of this huge machine called Machinery Scanner. Our system is ready and we have the right tools to revolutionize this sector. To finish, let me recap our key points. We are insiders from this industry with more than 50 years of experience combined. We noticed real gaps and we have the right solution and services to solve them. We are an international and complementary team. Our sector and our business model are resilient to any crisis. We are not offering you here a simple idea or project, but to be part of a revolutionary company. Please let me know if you have any question. Thank you.
Mike, I think, do you have a question for this company? Would you like to kick off?
Okay. Can you just clarify again on the revenue side? Do you charge both the buyer and the seller some sort of commission?
No, so far we focused only on the dealer side. They can buy from us subscription based to have access to our internal services, which are the review system and certification program. And on the other side, we also sell to dealers listing on partner website because Machine Scanner is an aggregator. We have a search engine with that aggregate listing from different websites. We have 7 partners today that brings more than 50,000 listings into our search engine.
Okay, thank you.
I think Arturas, were you next, and then Remco.
Yes, so thank you for the presentation. I like such kind of businesses a lot, the marketplaces, and before the speech yesterday, they have done only 5 minutes research on the internet, and it seems that there are quite a few similar platforms like yours for the heavy equipment. Again, maybe some features are missing. Again, I didn't go that deep to compare the features, but again, you are not the only marketplace for sure, at least in European Union and EU and the Middle East. So this is, and maybe it is the first question. So can you state again what are your exact competitive advantages against your competitors? And another question is, have you thought about, increasing your kind of the range of services and integrating kind of the finance or basically loans for the potential buyers? Let's say if the farmer wants to buy some kind of equipment and they don't have the funding, and you can give the loan through kind of P2P lending or some just P2P lending. Have you thought about this? And
sure. Okay, so thank you for the question. It's a great question. So first, what differentiates us? Today, Machine Scanner is the only third-party review system for machinery dealers in the world. Nobody is doing it. There are many marketplaces online, but they are all doing the same stuff. They are all offering listing services. So first, Machine Scanner is not a listing portal. We are not competing with the listing portals. On this side, we are offering listing portals on partner websites. And then we have an agreement, cross-selling agreement with the partners. We are commission-based for all the sales of advertising we make on their portal. And in return, they send us all their data via API into Machine Scanner search engine.
Yeah, but so, I do have, sorry to interrupt you, but I do have the question. Again, the ultimate goal is you are helping to sell the heavy machinery, and basically you are switching slightly, the concept of how you do that. But,
yes.
if it, again, the goal in the end of the day is just to sell the tractor or some equipment from buyer to seller. And if your way of doing that is more optimized, is it more friendly? Is it cheaper, faster comparing to other marketplaces or not?
Yeah, so we help dealer because they have one contact, Machine Scanner, that gives them access to different portals. So it's a gain of time. There is no language barrier. We can help them also to manage their inventory. We have XML. We can help them, to automatize all this process. On the other side, we help the user looking for the right machine. Instead of going through 5 different portals to find the mini excavator, go to Machine Scanner, have access to all the listing from 7 different partners today. Once he finds the right machine, he can check the company behind and read the reviews, look for the certification, ask for the inspection, and organize the shipment. And for the second part of your question, if I can go on this point, you said if we already thought about launching new services on top. So of course, because we want to increase the basket size of dealers once they are with us. So we already started to discuss with a payment solution system, insurance solution to offer insurance to people who buy. We want to enter maybe into the rental and leasing equipment because this is a very big industry. So what we used to say is that Machine Scanner is operating in a niche market with a global impact because everyday machines are sold worldwide. And right now, what is happening, for instance, in Qatar with the World Cup, they bought all those machines. The World Cup is done now. All the stadiums are built. They will need a safe marketplace to sell those. And just this example. And at the last point is that the opportunities are limitless. Niche industry, global impact, but limitless opportunities. We can just add services on top just to offer the complete packages to the user who want to buy machine and to help the dealer to sell more.
Okay.
Okay. And then let's turn over to the last question of Remco.
Yeah, so first of all, to come back to the previous comment from the other judge, yeah, you're definitely not the number one, as I also know quite a lot of platforms already in the EU market also doing scoring, also doing third-party reviews. So be a bit careful with this approach. And then my main question would be, okay, so how are you going to specifically target this industry, and what is your marketing strategy?
Okay, so right now we don't have real fixed costs because we don't spend in advertising. We build everything, just the two co-founders, and we are insiders from this industry. So we have the network. And so we use the word of mouth to start as the advertising strategy. But right now we are looking to raise funds. And the first investment will have to be made into digital marketing. We need to make campaign with sales funnel, so people are redirected to Machine Scanner, and also dealers target specific campaign on social media, and also work a lot on SEO. So when you type any type of machine, actually any brand, Machine Scanner should be ranked on top, first position. And right now this is not the case. We have some issues with the SEO, and this is something we need to work on as up. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So
very
judges, let's put in your mark, and let's get ready for the final presentation of today, Busy X-Chain. Get ready to share your screen.
Hey everyone, do you see my screen?
Yep.
So hello again. I am Vladimir Liger. I am CEO of Busy Technology, project behind the Busy Exchange Layer 1 blockchain project. We are a company based on Czech Republic. We developing Web3 solution, Busy Exchange. We already have 13 core members and several globally distributed team. To be correct, 5 globally distributed team consist dozens of developers. We are developing a layer 1 blockchain for companies. I will maybe stay here. This is all our advantages. There is no time to name all of them, but you can check on our website. Let's go to the problem. Current problem is current global public networks don't offer quite sufficient solutions for maybe semi-large or large companies who want to implement this technology. Current blockchain are quite restrictive. They force you to use some rules on their ecosystem, and this is quite holding back mainstream adoption of this technology. Practically, currently, as we know, companies interested in this technology, not only like experiment, but seriously interested, they just maybe make it for themselves in-house, as we call it. So just cooperate with companies like Corda, for example, and they build a custom blockchain for their purposes. But these blockchains are quite separated, and oftentimes they are not connected by others. So there is just internal databases with a blockchain name on it. And sometimes they can be connected, but also they need to bridge to connect with others. This is same thing in the public blockchains. They just connected by bridges. We think bridges are currently the main point of vulnerability in the layer 1 networks connection. So if somebody attacks, they attacks on bridges. So we think this is only a temporary solution in the current market. As a solution, the solution is to build layer 1 plus blockchain. We already built it. It's ready to launch. Or a busy exchange layer 1 allows companies to build layer 1 on top of it, not only layer 2s, just proper layer 1s. It means it can be private, it can be public, it can be based on another rules, hybrid, etc. They can create own rules. They can even set own fees, etc. So there is no need for them to strict with busy exchange network fees, etc. They all exist on busy exchange, but they are in some way independent. So they can be fully public or absolutely closed, and nobody can even should know they are on the busy exchange. So they can be absolutely hidden if they want. So we also have low fees and quite high speed. So and layer 2 and a layer 2 topic, we also know mainly small projects or maybe entrepreneurs, etc., are more interested in layer 2 solutions. So we allow it also. And on top of it, we know for mainstream adoption, we need to even non-tech people to be in. So we just make a token creator, input it in our wallet, functional, fully functional, ready to go wallet, and everyone with few clicks can create own token, NFT game, and X20. It means it is alternative to RC20, but with way better stats, because our blockchain is based on proof of stake, advanced proof of stake, and I can explain later. So everyone can, with few clicks, make own token without any skills and use it for running business, and maybe find even more opportunities that aren't currently discovered. So maybe even coffee houses can use own currency to benefit customers, etc. So you can, in our pitch deck, you can see our wallet. We are also preparing a mobile version of wallet. We have on Explorer where we already make a few testing rounds, and everything is go well and already ready to deploy. That is our roadmap. We are currently in the pre-sale. As a source of funding, we choose to be only coin-based, not token-based, because token is existing on other blockchain. We have own blockchain, and currently looking for partners as far as advisory and of course investors. We already have discussions with few large venture capitals in crypto space. We also have open discussions with two larger exchanges to be correct, Gate.io and MXC. We already established the partnership in the past, so they are currently on our site. We can count on with them. This is few competitors, but no one of these competitors deliver same ready-to-go solutions for today corporate world to really kick mainstream adoption forward. This is go-market strategy currently. Blockchain total capital is liquid, so currently we are in the bear market, so numbers are a little bit lower, but we believe we will crypto as the whole will be of course grow in the near future. That is our tokenomics or BXJ economy. This is for a long time. You can check it in our pitch deck on the website and vesting schedule. And that's all from me. Thank you very much for your time, and I'm looking forward for your questions. Thank you.
Okay, I think Arturas, you're first to kick the question off. You're on mute.
Yeah, as always. So thank you for the presentation. So I do have a few questions. So first of all, as you said, again, you are no smart contract based blockchain, which is quite, good thing to attract young businesses who don't have the talent for building smart contracts. But the question is, there's simple. Why should I choose you instead of Waves blockchain, which does more or less the same thing, but they are proven, they have the community, they have the supporters, much more talent, etc. So why are you better than Waves blockchain?
Sure.
It is the first question.
Thank you for the questions. I will correct it a bit. We allow smart contracts on our ecosystem. This is not only our main approach. Our main approach is to allow companies to build layer 1 or move the infrastructure to us, layer 1 network. And of course, you can also build simple smart contracts layer 2 with our token creator, even in a few clicks. And why they should choose us is currently to discover. We must go out. We must do some marketing. We must reach of some level. They will choose us because of branding or maybe customer support, etc. But currently, we believe our solution is more advanced than every other solution. But we know, of course, for you don't. If you have best product, is fine, but you must to have other supports, and this is currently why we're looking for investors and partners to establish us on market and give us some leverage in this manner.
Okay, so two observations. Again, it is just my humble opinion, but as you said, again, you didn't convince me why should I choose you instead of Waves. But again, let's keep it for the private discussion afterwards, if you wish. Another thing you said that even coffee shops can create a smart contract. Yeah, so everyone can create a smart contract, but the token implementation to the ecosystem, to the product, is more complicated. So anyway, they will need the some kind of developers. And another thing, also just the observation, looking at your tokenomics, you put angels, retail investors, public, whatever rounds. So again, I would invite you to reconsider some kind of pricing and allocations for different profiles of the VCs or of the investors, because venture capital investors wants to have the the cheapest possible price. But again, let's if you want, we can discuss this afterwards, because there are some fundamental potential mistakes in terms of the fundraising.
Okay, let's discuss afterwards. If you can remind me your first question, I just want to answer it in the very quick way.
Yeah, so again, the question was, why are you better than Waves blockchain?
No, second question, sorry. First part of your second question.
Yeah. So about the coffee shops that can easily create. Yeah, so they can create easily the token, but still, if they have the application or something, they have to implement that block.
In our country, Sorry to interrupt. I just have it. On our country, nearly every coffee shop must implement some sort of accounting tool, and they already have, for example, tablets or some other stuff. Our wallet isn't anywhere more complicated than every basic program for example, dealing with day-to-day customers, etc. So for payments, etc. So we believe in some situation it can be even more easy for them, and also they can sort of implement some DeFi thinking, and for example, their customers can even, for example, loan them money, exchange for some services, etc. So there is plenty of possibilities how they should consider DeFi and to know just focus on banks.
Okay. I think there's plenty of opportunity for follow-up. Some of these questions are getting quite in depth. So we've come to the end of our final presentation. So would all of the judges please check that they have submitted marks for all of the all of the 8 companies, because one company, Hertzwell, did not show up, and I think Maria's already removed that. So if you want to make sure you've got 8 marks in, and just take another minute to double check that, and then Maria will tabulate the results and let us know how things panned out.
Yes, thank you, startups, for wonderful pitches. I will renew the page and close the voting in 1 minute. There are still some judges who haven't voted. Please finish your voting. And please, I remind you to evaluate each of our startups today so that our system counted very properly and transparently.
I have a question. I still see Hertzwell among the list.
Oh, please renew the page.
score, or better not mark anything.
Nothing. Don't.
If you see it, please do not mark it. But I guess I have removed for 100% from our resources. So please renew the page and tell me if you can see it still. Because on the main page, no.
Just don't put any mark there. If it's still remaining, and then that won't slow down the voting.
Okay, now I have a completed list of your marks, and I push close event, and we will have to wait 3 seconds. And now I'm ready to announce the winners. I will start from the 3rd place and go to the 1st. So the 3rd place, 1 minute, goes to Startup Machinery Scanner. Congratulations. 2nd place goes to Kashi, and the winner of the unicorn pitches of today is Staple. Congratulations to the winner. Looking forward to see you among our participants on the unicorn battle.
Great. And for any of the startups or any of the judges that are wanting to have follow-up with anyone else from this event, and if you can't find their contact details directly, just be in touch with me, because everyone's received an email from me, and I can help put you together. And hopefully there will be a great number of follow-up conversations from this. This was quite an in-depth presentation. We had a lot of good presentations. We had a lot of very knowledgeable judges. So I hope those conversations can continue. Thank you for Maria for her management and operation of the event. As we've referred to a couple of times when talking about business, there's no front office without a back office. So the operations ran wonderfully today. So thanks for your effort, Maria.
Thank you. Wish you all good day, night, and a week.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. And
Thanks,
John, for putting
everyone.
this together.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Maria. Thanks, John.
Jimmy, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Enjoy the rest of the week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
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 Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye. Bye. I will ask
Cheers.
per email. Thank you. Bye. I will ask per email.